everybody, welcome back to the channel. I mean, obviously at this point, if you're watching this video is on YouTube, but at this moment in time, I don't really have a direction for this video. Basically, I'm wanting to start flipping cars now that all this is kind of settled down and the shop's finished and all that. I've been taking on extra side work. I've been full. I had 3 cars this week I did. But I'm gonna maybe get into a little more heavier stuff, especially on Subarus, doing some flips. I found a cheap Legacy down in Columbus, and the plan currently right now is to grab it, see what's wrong with it. Head gaskets is what he said. I don't really know until I look into it. See what's going on with it, fix it, and then maybe sell it to my brother, because my brother is looking very hard for a Subaru, and he's 18 and has money right now because he works full time. Of course, every 18-year-old wants a WRX. I told him, hold off on the turboed vehicles right now because insurance would kill you.
Bro, nice Subaru. Hey, man, you too.
So obviously, the 6-liter is not in here. It is outside. It's outside because we sold our camper last night, which I had to sell a toy. So the 6-liter is already outside. We're gonna hook it to the trailer, and then we're gonna go hopefully, buy us a 09 Legacy. I had a guy yesterday follow me through town on the way back from dropping off the camper, and he got a hold of me on Instagram. He's like, dude, I have an exhaust in my truck, and I couldn't even hear my truck because your truck is so loud. I put $100 in fuel in this yesterday. The light was on, and $100 later, I am at 3/4 of a tank.
Man, that sucks! Why? I shall call him Minnie.
Got it loaded under its own power, which right there, it's worth what I gave for it. It's got some oil leaks. So they said it had a head gasket blown. Well, the shop told them it had a head gasket blown. I don't know where I'm going. The shop told them it had a head gasket blown, but they could put some fix in it and it would go away. I don't really know. Strange magic. Been sitting for 2 years. Shift's a little rough. All the fluids are dark. No big deal. We'll get it nursed back to health, but I'm gonna do a compression test on it. I don't think it's got a blown head gasket. It was sitting there idling, did not overheat, nothing like that. Engine bay is completely clean, so it didn't show any signs of overheating and blowing hoses and whatnot. It's got a new radiator, new CV axles, so it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go home and probably tinker with it and make sure it's good to go before I tell anybody that I have it. It's a gorgeous color, no rust. It's very nice, it's a nice car. So we're gonna head back home. I'm gonna get my GPS up because I have no idea where I'm at. Okay, we made it back. Since I am very impatient, I have to know what's going on with it. I'm gonna get it off the trailer and take it into the shop, and we're gonna start diagnosing. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is, I got it in here. First thing we're gonna do is put some oil in it because there's no oil on the dipstick. And then secondly, I'm gonna do the quick, easy way of telling or kind of guessing if it's got a head gasket problem. If basically put the old funnel on the radiator, and if it's got a blown head gasket, it's gonna put pressure in the cooling system, and it'll have a little bit. Fingers crossed, we'll see, because I'm not really clear, yes or no. Like the previous owners didn't, they were basically told. It's a messed up story, so I'm just gonna have to just find out for myself. Sitting there idling, there was no bubbles coming through the funnel. My bubbles. When you rev it up to about 3,000 to 4,000, there would be a few trickle through, but that's not my concern at the moment. I put everything back, cap and all that back on, took it for a drive. It's got no power whatsoever. It has minimal power. It won't even pull itself. I don't think it's a tranny issue. Honestly, I think the cats are clogged, but it has, like, revving it up. It's like, it's very slow and very, that's I guess my interpretation of a clogged cat.
Right.
Okay, so fix the no power issue. It's open header right now. I don't know if the exhaust is clogged, if I have the second cat off the manifold is clogged, but it has power now. AC's working. I'm cruising at 65-ish right now. I can let go of the wheel, so I'm going to do a compression test tomorrow and continue looking into that, and probably going to have to pull the motor to fix this oil leak, but we'll see. It also needs brakes, so... But I'd say overall, it is a pretty nice purchase, and I'm going to invite my parents and my brother to come over and take a look at it because I'm excited. I can't wait any longer. I'm being very impatient, so I'm going to call them, and they're going to come over and check it out. I'm giving you taping this. First dibs. After I'm done with it, you want it. How much is it? I don't know yet. That's how much I got in it.
Just looking at me.
It is a 09 Limited.
The next day.
Okay, good morning. So I gotta hurry up and film this because I'm not sure I'm allowed to film this, but something crazy just happened on the property. So I was in town riding my bike and I had to go to Harbor Freight and grab a few things, and my wife heard two thuds, and our neighbor comes over and said, "Hey, you guys all right? We heard two big thuds or whatever." And my wife's like, "Yeah, no problem." And so next thing we knew, 5 sheriffs showed up in my driveway, and apparently 2 military aircraft fuel tanks fell off or something, malfunctioned, I don't know. One of them landed basically in my driveway. It's right off the driveway in the field. So I have all I smell is diesel fuel. I mean, I have a military aircraft fuel tank sitting in the field. All I smell is JP8, diesel basically. Right now, the sheriff's all left, but there is a military police like in the driveway. And the sheriff said they're waiting on the Air Force to show up. So I already got people in camo uniforms showing up in my driveway. There are probably 15 plus United States Air Force people in camouflage in my driveway. So everything's good now. They picked all the pieces up and they're gonna send a crew out just to, check everything for, environmental purposes. Did find out also that they were 2 fuel tanks off of an F-16 they weren't full of fuel, but they had JP8 in them, which is basically diesel, kerosene, whatever. It smells like diesel, but they're gonna send a crew out and take care of everything. They also said it was a malfunction of sorts, so hopefully the pilot's okay. Hopefully everybody involved is okay. But now I guess the rest of the video is gonna be kind of boring because I'm gonna clean up the shop and do a compression test on a Subaru Legacy. So something kind of nice is I bought the Carfax for the car last night, and it's got 49 service records. And what's great is 400 miles ago, the timing belt and water pump were replaced along with the radiator. The oil pan is leaking pretty bad. And something else is I seen on the Carfax, they did a power steering flush, but they put power steering fluid in it and not ATF. So the entire rack is blowing fluid out of basically everything. Every connection is blowing some sort of fluid out of it. So I need to suck that out and put ATF back in it because I've actually seen power steering fluid cause ATF power steering racks to leak.
The next day.
Okay, peoples. So fast forward about 2 days. Yesterday was a mowing day, and I went ahead and did a compression check. Everything checked out perfect. All of these cylinders, all 4 cylinders, were within 5 psi of each other. Good compression. That basically hopefully eliminates a internal head gasket leak. I have been trying to call the place that did the diagnostics on this vehicular for 2 days straight, and nobody will answer the phone. I crap you not, I called 5 times yesterday and over 5 times today, and nobody is answering the phone. After cleaning up the oil underneath and basically coming to the conclusion that the oil filter is blowing oil out, the oil pan was blowing oil out, and basically the power steering rack is blowing power steering fluid out, which looks like oil, I'm going to tighten everything up and just send it. I'm going to put everything back up, change all the fluids, and we're gonna drive it around and see what happens. Okay, this is what I'm interested in. I pulled the entire exhaust off, okay? So with the entire exhaust connected, the car had 0 power, as in like I took it down the road and back. It would not shift out of second gear to the floor. It would barely even pull itself. I disconnected it from the header. So basically in between the first and second cat, had all the power in the world. So we're gonna see what is in this and why it's clogged. All right, I got the cat out for experimental purposes only, off-road use only. And what it looks like is the front cat, it kind of exploded. And I really hope that it doesn't throw a check engine light, but we'll see. Because it's, you know, if you know Subarus, it's built into the manifold. What it looks like is the front cat got caught in the second cat. And it is clear full of cat material. So we're going to put this one back.
What's the matter with you? You got something in your eye?
I got the rest of the exhaust off. He wants a loud car, so I'm gonna give him a loud car. All right, I hacked up the exhaust and kind of got bits and pieces of what I need for the straight piping. I'm gonna go to O'Reilly's tomorrow and grab a couple of couplers, and I have to get a bottle of argon and a bottle of oxygen for my torch and welder. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow finally after a year, and we're gonna weld us up a straight pipe. I'm actually using quite a bit off the LS400 exhaust, so that saves me from buying some material, but I'm gonna get it all welded up tomorrow. Tonight I'm gonna finish putting the engine back together from where I did the compression test. Probably start draining all the fluids, and we're getting closer, boys. We're getting closer. My brother's gonna have his first Subaru hopefully by the weekend.
The next day.
Okay, welcome back. It's the next day. Ooh, it's a bright sun. So I went to O'Reilly's and got a couple of couplers in order to basically mate the piping that I got for the straight pipe. I had a little problem with my welder. I don't know, it hasn't been used in a while, no big deal. I got her fixed up. I actually started to weld the couplers, but I'm not showing you my welds because you people are judgmental. I'm going to complete the mid-pipe section where I cut the cat out, and then I'm going to complete basically the exhaust out, the straight piping, I guess. I don't know. All done, all welded up. It's got a DC, whoa, that's bright. DC Sport resonated tip on it, so it won't be so brappy. I use like half of the exhaust off the LS400. So reduce, reuse, recycle. All right, here we go. First startup with the straight pipe. Probably gonna sound like every other Subaru out there. Hopefully the battery has enough juice. It's been on the charger, but I smell eggs, so. Oh. All right, she's been running for, I don't know, about 20 minutes or so. I'm not seeing any oil leaks or anything like that, but the power steering rack is leaking pretty good. I got it cleaned up. I'm gonna see if I can kind of pinpoint where that's coming from. I put ATF in it and sucked all the power steering fluid out. So take it for a quick drive, then put it back up in the air, and then see if it's leaking any oil, anything like that. Alrighty, we just got back from our little test drive. It was about 5 miles or so, it wasn't too far. This thing rides and drives very nicely, and it's not obnoxious. I left the, yes, it's kind of straight pipe, but I left the resonator in it, so it's not terribly like loud and obnoxious, and it's got a pretty good tone to it. It's up in the air, rolled underneath it. I don't see anything leaking from the head gaskets. External head, no oil or anything leaking from the head gaskets, but the oil pan is leaking pretty bad. Like it's gonna need fixed sooner than later. And the easiest way to fix the oil pan is if you pull the motor, and if we pull the motor, then we're just gonna do head gaskets while it's out. So I'll probably let them drive it for a couple of weeks, and we're gonna get it back in here, pull the motor, fix the oil pan, and then probably just do head gaskets on it. So yeah, the only thing I have left to do is the front brakes, I think. I don't see any other parts laying around, so yeah. All right, got the front brakes changed, everything. Well, it's been sitting for 2 years, so everything was rusted and tight and not coming loose, and you can see the rust on the ground right there. But we got her done, sitting there idling. I'm gonna put her outside, and I got a customer car I gotta take care of before it gets too late.
The next day.
Okay, so fast forward a few days. What you just watched was Friday, today's Sunday. I let the car sit outside for a few days just to see what happens. Pulled it back in and jacked it up in the air, found basically what I already confirmed. Oil pan is leaking very severely, and with it sitting and seeing all the oil that's come out of the oil pan just sitting there, I am probably not gonna let him take it and we're gonna go ahead and probably pull the engine and do head gaskets, oil pan, rear main. Like I said, today is Sunday. I have a few customer cars lined up this week, so we'll probably start on this one next weekend and into next week. That's okay because it give him time to go to the bank and all that, and he's gonna get a loan. You know, this is his first loan. He's gonna build some credit, which is cool. Alrighty, so I just called him. He's gonna come over and we're gonna take it for a little spin. Another issue I'm having with it is if it sits overnight, it hard starts. So it just cranks and cranks and cranks and then eventually fires. Once it does fire, it runs fine. It does have 2-year-old gas and it's been sitting for 2 years in a garage. So I'm hoping that's the problem, just the bad gas. So we're gonna put some fresh gas in it and hopefully that clears that problem up. Alrighty, we got back from our test drive and he's my brother, so he's like me. He doesn't really show emotion or anything. So he wasn't like, yeah, Subaru, you know, he just kind of, whatever. So he wants it. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take care of this vehicle here. I got a few other trucks or a few other vehicles coming in this week. We're gonna pull the motor, do head gaskets, fix all the oil leaks. We'll get them fixed up. So I apologize, this video is kind of all over the place and it took quite a while to film, like, you know, basically a week and a half or so. But yeah, so I think the next time you'll see his legacy, it'll be, we're gonna pull the heart out of it and fix her right. So appreciate everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any work that you'd like me to do, please hit me up. So with that said, I think we'll see you next time. Hey everyone, thank you for watching.
Please like and subscribe.
Be sure to check out her Etsy account, The Sweetheart Design, for custom illustrations, vinyls, and t-shirts. She can make anything you want.
And use code BOOSTIN_DC on jacksbox.com for 15% off.